Prime Minister's dropped a big hint that she'll call the election in coming days. Julia Gillard says she'll soon ask for the trust of Australians, a sure sign that the campaign's about to begin. The Governor-General then added to the pre-election rumour mill by cancelling travel plans, ensuring she's here to perform her duty when the moment comes. Amidst the speculation, Julia Gillard joined one of her predecessors tonight, launching Bob Hawke's biography. From Canberra, Hayden Cooper reports.
It was meant to be Australia's 26th Prime Minister launching this book. Instead, the job fell to the 27th. And Bob Hawke, the other Labor Prime Minister knifed by his party, has some sympathy for Kevin Rudd.
I knew how he must have felt.
But he believes Mr Rudd only has himself to blame.
I hope Kevin won't mind me saying this, but I also had the feeling that, that he would have avoided it all if he'd been consultative.
Julia Gillard's admiration for the former leader suggests his words won't be ignored by her regime.
And long after all of us have passed off life's stage, the story of Bob Hawke will shine as Australians yet unborn discover this remarkable man and his astounding contribution to our national life.
A trip home to the city she grew up in had already put the Prime Minister in an aspirational mood.
Tomorrow can be better than today if you strive to make it so.
The young Julia Gillard moved to Adelaide at the age of 4. Now, 44 years on, she wants the city and the nation to know who she is and where she comes from.
My father's 2 jobs helped me secure 2 university degrees, and I'll never forget the sacrifices he and my mother made.
It was a speech heavy on sentiment and vision.
I believe in the transformative power of education. It made me.
But it wasn't without a touch of political cliché.
I passionately believe that at the very core of Australians is an instinct to move forward.
How'd you go?
The opposition leader's more comfortable talking about policy.
The Prime Minister is lost somewhere in the Timor Sea.
East Timor's parliament has now joined the opposition to the refugee centre, passing a resolution calling on the government in Dili to reject Julia Gillard's proposal.
I mean, she said that the government had lost its way. It hasn't found its way. It's wandering around the region in search of an offshore processing centre.
Unlike the Australian Parliament, East Timorese ministers do not sit in the East Timorese Parliament. So this is a reflection of those members of the East Timorese Parliament present at the time. It is not the government's response.
In any case, the Prime Minister will continue to pursue it, even though polling has revealed a slight dip in her support. Labor's primary vote is down to 39%, 3 points below the coalition. But after preferences, it's still an election-winning lead for the government.
We will go into this election as underdogs.
The date is fast approaching.
In the days to come, I will be putting forward more detailed arguments about some of the biggest challenges our nation faces. I will be explaining the steps I think we need to take and asking for people's consideration of those steps. I will ask the Australian people for their trust to move forward.
So the coming weeks have become coming days. Even the Governor-General senses the anticipation. Quentin Bryce was due to head overseas for 10 days. Instead, she's cutting it to 5, just so she'll be here at Yarralumla when the Prime Minister calls. Hayden Cooper, Late Line.